Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday show. And this is a show that I run every week to talk and connect to my guides. And some of my guides are just incredible, and they have been with me over the last year and want to have a voice. And so I honoured their request in giving this YouTube channel, so that people can hear and listen to the words that have been spoken to me from very many wonderful guides, highly evolved guides. And the first person that's stepping forward is in fact Jesus. And he's coming forward and he's saying, I come here today for a purpose. And he's saying to me that his purpose is to bring light to the earth. And that's what he's always been about. He's always wanted to shine a light on humanity. And he says to me, alas, sometimes I fail. Sometimes I do not succeed in what I wish to achieve. And I come around people trying to urge them into the light or show them the light. And sometimes people turn their backs on suggestions that he's nudging people towards. And he says that this sometimes makes not only himself, but many other guides who equally have a similar role in the spirit world with humanity, and they feel as though that they struggle to achieve the results that they wish to achieve. And he's saying to me that he wishes that humanity would understand that if they live in the light, they will live in the best sort of way that possible. Their heart and their soul and their spirit will shine and illuminate for others to see an example of their behaviour. He says that when he was on the earth plane and he's showing me himself on the cross, he says that of course this was a difficult time, and of course this was a difficult time for his family, particularly his mother. But he says to me that although this was a difficult time, he knew that this would have an impact on the world. He knew that there would be many people that would follow his preachings and his talks and his ideas about life and look towards the light and look towards God. And of course, many people do. There are nearly 2.5 million people in this world, billion people in this world that are Christians. And he says to me that if only those people that do not understand that there is a world beyond ours, that there is a God, and there is us in the spirit world. He wishes that people would understand that. And he wishes that people would understand the purpose and the role of their lives to do good, to spread the light, and to understand about humanity and understand that there is always a purpose to someone's life. But alas, he says, some people, they decide to deviate from that purpose. And of course, God has given each person on the earth plane their free will. And when someone deviates from the original purpose of shining the light on others and growing within themselves closer and nearer to the illumination that exists in the spirit world, he says that it creates a sadness for himself and his colleagues and his friends in the spirit world. He says for all of us, we see our role as helping and guiding people. So when we fail at doing this, it is a real sadness to us. It takes away our spark and our light, because all he wants to do is offer that healing light and that energy to everyone. And he says to me that if we choose to do a U-turn and move towards the light and understand that God is present with all of us and that he wishes for us to do good in our lives, then our life becomes worthwhile. Our life is perfect and our life has a purpose to it. But when we stick to the negativity of life, perhaps gossip, greed, materialism, not considering other people, he says this is when we fail in our lives. And of course, we don't see the extent of this failure until we go across into the next world. And then when we arrive in the spirit world, we are shown the extent of our failings, our greed and our negativity. And this is really hurtful and harmful to the soul, because the soul struggles to be in the light and struggles to exist with what they have done and what they haven't achieved. Because underachieving in our world, the earth plane, is something that the soul struggles to bear and struggles to accept. And this is why he's coming today, because he wishes to urge people to understand that their sole purpose is moving towards the light. And that can only be done by doing good and by doing what is right. And when you move towards the light, when you go back to he says, to our world, in the spirit world, in heaven, nirvana, whatever you'd like to call it, you are then blessed by God. You are then accepted into the higher realms. You are acknowledged for the good person that you are. And you will become satisfied in your own soul and your own spirit. And he says he wishes if only more people could understand that to have that light burning in their soul is a gift that nobody can give to them. They have to give to themselves. And that gift is something that will enhance their living, enhance their being. And because he knows this, and because he accepts that mankind needs this, he struggles and he perseveres and he exists with many people trying to create that acceptance of the light, that acceptance of God himself, and also Jesus and Mother Mary and all those higher evolved spirits that come about on a healing vibration. And he wishes for you to all understand that this is our purpose, to give to you unconditionally, to give you the light, to give you the understanding. But he says, we need your help. We need your understanding that this is the right track to be on, to move towards the light. And he says, if you can accept that in your soul and in your spirit, then he says he makes a promise to you, a promise that he will never, ever not be by your side and not guide you. For he wants to guide all of mankind towards God and towards the light. He thanks you for listening to this video and says that his words are of an important nature and he loves you all. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.